I wonder how much time I have before my cat comes and questions what I'm doing. I'm on her cat post once again because this lighting is just the best. I also just really want to note that you were being leaned on my spaghetti squash. Alright, so I asked if anyone had any questions for a Q&A, and I got a couple questions and we're gonna go ahead and dive on into it. A question that I've been getting asked a lot lately. So, some of you may know, so obviously, hello, hi, I'm Alessandra Vanessa. Hi, I'm Alessandra Vanessa. So a lot of people have been asking, one, how do you pronounce my name? So if you were to ask my grandparents how it's pronounced and the way it's spoken with the proper accent, it's Alessandra Vanessa. But when I'm just speaking in English, it's just Alessandra Vanessa. My family is, we're a mix of everything, but some sort of Spanish or another. So it's typically spoken with a Spanish accent, which makes it come off as Alessandra Vanessa. So yeah. And then another question I've been getting asked a lot is on Angel's name. So Angel's for short, but his whole okay, so it's like his first whole name is Angel Ikaika Okalani. And then that is broken down to Angel Ikaika, which is then nicknamed down to Angel. And that is how the breakdown happens. But it's all pronounced Angel Ikaika Okalani Kamana Olana. And it's Hawaiian. So there's an accent with that I'm not even fully sure. You know who honestly really be saying accents on names the best? Be grandparents. The way that they like pop it out in the native tongue, like. I just realized I don't have my ring on. I left it over. My ring, so I have lost 65 pounds and Angel has lost 100 pounds. And in doing that, our engagement rings barely fit. So I don't wear mine every day, and honestly, we're going to be getting new ones soon that fit our proper size. So I'm not always wearing it. Plus, I went out earlier and I had some puffy gloves on, and rings and gloves just don't really work. Anywho, what asked me lately, I've been getting it a lot, is what does queer mean? Queer was a derogatory term that was used back in the day as a negative word to use towards someone in the LGBT community. As of late, many members of the LGBT community, as myself included, have taken back that word because it is one of the most expansive, inclusive words you can think of, because LGBT is, it's broad, okay? You have lesbians, you have bisexual, you have pansexual, you have trans, you have transgender, you have gender fluid, gender nonconforming, non-binary, agender, asexual. I listed those all off so fast, I feel like I'm forgetting someone. It's very, very, very large and inclusive. So basically, queer is just anything that's not straight, anything that doesn't conform to normal hetero and cisgender. And cisgender means that you identify with the gender you were born with. So if you are either or both. So I am queer because I am pansexual. I like anyone. It doesn't matter what their gender is, what the gender expression is, how they identify with themselves. If I find a person attractive, I find them attractive. So yeah, and then my fiance is queer because he is also pansexual, but he is also a trans man. So I hope that answers your question. I don't know why this video is a bit harder to film. Maybe it's because I'm not, like, I don't know, drinking tea, or like, sometimes I would like hype myself up, but today I was like actually like ready to take a nap and just like lounge and chill. Actually, I think after this I might either make myself mac and cheese or soup, and I still haven't decided, and I partially feel like filming this video is a form of procrastination on making myself food. Another question I got, okay, this was a big one I wanted to feature, so it might take up the bulk of the video. How how do you receive downloads while meditating? I can't do it for the life of me. And this was asked via my Instagram. And how do you receive downloads while meditating? First, my answer is going to be a relatively broad answer. If you want something specific to and tailored to your personal gifts, intuitively, or however, because different people process things differently and not everyone receives the same. There are different types of clairs. There's like the all-knowing, the all-seeing, all hearing, so they're all going to be different. But I can tell you what I do to receive my downloads. So when I'm receiving downloads while I'm meditating, after like the second time of seeing numbers and symbols in my meditation, I recognize that I need to have a notebook next to me. So automatic writing is one of my gifts. It is 100% one of my gifts. I can just tune out, zone out, and just go for it. Like, I even have to be specific in saying that my writing has to be neat because it's gotten to the point that it can get so messy. So I've recognized that I need to have some sort of pen and paper with me because as I am meditating, my eyes are closed. With a piece of paper, I can write down notes and receive that way. Also, if that doesn't work for you, journaling immediately after some sort of meditation is really nice. And I also want to encourage everyone to remember that meditation isn't a single form. It's not sitting there going om, although that is a very nice form of meditation. It can be cooking, it can be grocery shopping, it can be self-care, it can be petting with your cat, it could be reading, it could be painting, it could be walking down the street, it could be yoga, it could be working out, it could be a large variety of things. It does not settle on one thing. So I know that before I've received downloads while exercising. And sometimes what I literally have to do is in the middle of it stop and either write down or record whatever the download is, whether it's an audio recording or I physically record myself or I somehow type it down and document it. Like, immediately in the moment. And like, I could be in the middle of my sit-ups, I could be in the middle of anything, and immediately just have to get it down because it's so strongly and prevalently there that if I let it go a few more minutes, then it's going to be mush by the time I try to put it on paper because it's just so strongly channeled. Also, so if you're someone who's all-seeing, then you might just visualize your downloads, and that could be in the form of getting an image. You could be actually seeing a timeline ahead of you, or beside you even, there's different timeline possibilities. So if that is your way, then try maybe drawing if you're into that. Sometimes just recognizing taking a mental picture of what is in my head in that moment, what image am I trying to see, and just kind of just accept it. Simple as that. Just recognize and accept of what you're trying to see. Like, okay, for example, before moving, I envisioned the tile in the bathroom. I envisioned it being a certain way. And it wasn't out of an envisioning of I desire my bathroom to look like this. It was more envisioning of I was meditating and I was given your bathroom is going to look like this. Don't settle for this over here because there's something that's going on over here that you need to be aware of. So, but the download was more like a vision so that I knew what something was going to look like so I didn't veer off course. Sometimes if you're all knowing, there are times when I don't see visions, I don't see numbers, I don't see anything. It's just an entire sense of knowing. It's an entire sense of you understand something. So take for account, say you're meditating on the answer to a situation. Let's go with that. and you were meditating on it, and you were sitting there and you were thinking about it, and then you got the answer. You're like, this makes sense for X, Y, and Z reasons. You know, I'm gonna go with this instead of that, or what have you. Whatever that decision is, that in itself is a form of download. It's an all-knowing of an intuition feeling. So, yeah. If you have any more specific questions, I encourage you to book a one-on-one Spirit Talk sessions. That is definitely something that Spirit Talk sessions cover and are good for. I currently have a sale going on for 25% off orders under $50. Use surprise 25, and for orders over $50, use surprise 40 for 40% off, going on until December 15th. So yeah, if that didn't answer your question, I would definitely encourage you to book a one-on-one session, because then I can figure out where your level is at, what are you trying to receive as downloads. The way person perceive things is different, because there was a time when I began meditating where I felt like I didn't receive downloads because it came in an all-knowing fashion. So I didn't see any sort of imagery. I didn't hear any sort of thing. I came out of the meditation and it's more like the immediate answers, the first thing that comes to your head of like, where were you? I was in the mountains, you know, like it was just very much like an all sense of all knowing, all clearing, you know, that such strong feeling of, I know this answer, I know exactly what happened, but at the same time I felt like I didn't see anything. It was just okay. So like imagine when you're at the computer and you put something in and then you see that download bar and then you don't see the thing. So imagine your meditation is that download bar. That is you absorbing it. And then you get to the end, and then sometimes, depending on the type of computer you have, sometimes it'll immediately pop up whatever it is that like you were just downloading, and then like boom, right, there it is, you have it, which is a sense of download. And then you also have on the flip side where sometimes you download it, you have the download bar, and then you have to actually like click on it to access it, to open it up, you know. So think of it like that. Sometimes it's immediately there, and other times you have to think about it a little bit more. Okay, I'm already at this time somewhat that it will allow me to upload, so I'm gonna go ahead and exit with that. But if you like these, then I'll probably do another Q&A video. So if you have any questions, insert them down here. You can also follow me on Instagram at HearMyLeoRoar or Total Illness MBS, and I will be posting next time I want to get a Q&A questions. And yeah, I'll be seeing you guys